She was like, David, this song is too violent. You're talking about killing people in your music? No, not in my...
It started years ago when D4VD's own mother raised the alarm. She warned that his music was too violent, too dark. She couldn't have known that behind the fame, her son would be laughing with friends while openly confessing to something chilling. The murder of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. What once seemed like edgy lyrics now reads like a terrifying confession. September 2025 sent shockwaves through music and social media after a discovery so disturbing that even seasoned investigators froze. Rising pop and R&B star David Anthony Burke, known worldwide as D4VD, went from viral arenas to the center of a homicide case overnight. On September 8th, a tow yard in Hollywood became the stage of horror. Workers noticed a foul stench seeping from a black Tesla Model 3. The car had been abandoned in the Hollywood Hills, later traced directly to Burke himself. Inside the frunk, police found the decomposed body of 15-year-old Celeste stuffed into a plastic bag. The remains were so far gone, investigators struggled to identify a cause of death, though reports hinted at possible dismemberment. Dental records and a red SHH tattoo on her finger confirmed it was her, a tattoo eerily mirrored by D4D's own black ink version. Once a sign of intimacy, it was now damning evidence. Celeste had been missing since April 2024. Her family searched for over a year, begging for answers, only to learn their daughter's body had been rotting inside a car registered to one of music's hottest young stars. The internet erupted instantly. #JusticeForCeleste trended across X, YouTube creators dissected lyrics, and fans
Singer David is in some hot water. Previously, it was reported a dismembered body was found in the trunk of his car while he was on tour. Today, the dead body was identified as a 15-year-old who's been missing since she was 13.
Played concert footage frame by frame. But the most haunting part wasn't the discovery itself. It was Burke's behavior after. While LAPD was processing the gruesome scene, fans caught him live streaming Fortnite, casually gaming as though nothing had happened. To the public, this wasn't just arrogance, it looked like pure guilt. Social media detectives went into overdrive. Threads popped up connecting Celeste to his concerts, lyrics, even tattoos. Some swore she was spotted at his August 2025 show in Maryland, only weeks before her remains were found. At that same concert, Burke was seen sending heart gestures toward the VIP section where fans claim Celeste stood. And just days before her birthday, he announced an album titled Withered, a name that instantly fueled speculation. Meanwhile, investigators raided a Hollywood Hills property linked to him, seizing computers and rumored traces of blood. Burke locked down his Instagram comments, canceled tour dates, and issued vague statements through reps about cooperating fully. But for many, it was too little, too late. Fans who once idolized his rise from gamer to global artist now picked apart his every lyric. Suddenly, romantic homicide and his mother's old warning, "David, this song is too violent. You're talking about killing people in your music," sounded like prophecy. What had once been dismissed as dark creativity now looked like cold-blooded hints of reality. And then came the timeline bombshells. Back in January 2024, Celeste had run away from home. Not just anywhere, but to the Hollywood Hills, the very area D4VD lived. She was found and returned to her family, but the connection was ignored. Only 3 months later, she disappeared for good. Her mother remembered her mentioning a boyfriend named David, but brushed it off as coincidence. After September 2025, it was impossible to ignore. David wasn't just a random boy, it was him. By August 2025, weeks before the Tesla discovery, photos of Celeste surfaced in the VIP area of his Silver Spring, Maryland concert. How was a missing girl spotted in public? How did no one connect the dots sooner? These questions haunt investigators, fans, and Celeste's family alike. Despite being missing for over a year, shocking witness accounts placed Celeste right there, at a D4VD concert. Fans claimed she was spotted alongside Burke's own brother, Caleb, known online as Steve Lev. One viral clip even showed Burke flashing heart signals toward her during the performance. If true, this wasn't just disturbing, it meant he kept contact with her after her disappearance. And worse, that family members might have known all along. These chilling details fueled the belief that this wasn't just tragedy,
got into music is super unorthodox. Like, I wanted to be a professional Fortnite player, but the videos I would post on YouTube would get copyright strike. I cried to my mom about it, and she was just like, well, if you're not making your money, how about you make your own song? And I was like,
It was a cover-up. On September 18th, 2025, days after Celeste's body was identified, LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division swarmed a Hollywood Hills home where Burke had been living. Detectives seized a computer, clothing, and multiple bags suspected of containing blood evidence. Neighbors said police searched for hours, combing every inch of the property. Rumors spread that security cameras might hold incriminating footage. The house once tied to star-studded parties was now a full-blown crime scene. By late September, Burke's world was collapsing. He canceled the rest of his U.S. tour, broke a $20,000 a month Hollywood Hills lease, and saw brands like Crocs and Hollister instantly cut ties. But while Celeste's family was holding vigils in Lake Elsinore, fans caught Burke live-streaming Fortnite, smiling, gaming, acting like nothing had happened. The outrage was explosive. One viral post read, "How can he play games while the body of a child was found in his car?" Just 1 year earlier, Burke was praised as one of the most exciting young voices in alternative R&B. Now, the same media was painting him as a manipulator, a predator, maybe even a killer. And if the Tesla discovery shocked the world, his courtroom behavior set it ablaze. As hearings kicked off in Los Angeles, reporters described him not as humbled, but arrogant. He walked in with swagger, cracked jokes with his entourage, and rolled his eyes during testimony. At one point, he even laughed as prosecutors detailed how Celeste's remains were found in his Tesla. To many, it felt like he wasn't just defending himself, he was mocking the process. This was a devastating fall from grace. Just 2 years earlier, Burke was a prodigy, a teen who went from making music in his sister's closet to collaborations with stars like Kali Uchis, a supposed role model for Gen Z creativity. But now, even loyal fans admitted they couldn't listen to his music without picturing Celeste's tattoo, her disappearance, and her tragic end. Attention quickly turned to the burning question: what exactly was his relationship with Celeste? Investigators pieced together a disturbing picture. According to her former teacher, Celeste first connected with Burke online around 2022 or 2023. She was barely in her early teens, while he was already older. To her classmates, she described him as a rapper in LA, a mysterious figure far from her small-town life. Family members later admitted that by the time she was 13, Celeste often mentioned a boyfriend named David. Her mother brushed it off, never meeting him face to face. But after September 2025, the truth was unavoidable. David wasn't just any boyfriend. It was him. The red flags were everywhere. Both Celeste and Burke had the same SHH tattoo on their index fingers, hers in red, his in black. Fans dug up old photos proving when he first revealed his ink, and the eerie match became undeniable. Then came the music. An unreleased demo literally titled Celeste included lyrics about a runaway girl. "Run away from home, all in the name of love, she run into my loving arms." Critics now slammed it as manipulative, maybe even grooming hidden in plain sight. And he admitted even more. In interviews, Burke revealed that his 2025 album Withered was about Celeste. Some tracks reportedly included her actual voice woven into the soundscape. What was once seen as artistry now sounded like exploitation, blurring the line between muse and victim. Online evidence kept piling up. Discord users claimed they'd discussed Celeste in Burke's circles as early as 2022. Screenshots showed mentions of their relationship, though moderators later deleted the posts. Some fans thought she was older, while others insisted Burke always knew her true age. TikTok clips only deepened the suspicion.
How to make music on iPhone. And I use my sister's closet as the studio. So I'm like in here, it's dark. We got like robes and everything, blankets, whatever. And I'm looking up type beats on.
In January 2024, Burke tagged an account with her exact birthday, replying to a fan with, "Should we?" At the time, it looked playful. In hindsight, it read as sinister. Even her brother suspected she was secretly dating him, but no one stepped in before she vanished for good. Rumors later swirled that Burke had been paying Celeste's family hush money, as much as $10,000 a week. While unverified, the whispers enraged the public. People began asking, how could a child be left so vulnerable while adults stayed silent? By the time Celeste's remains were pulled from his Tesla, the story was undeniable. A secret relationship riddled with red flags, tattoos, lyrics, VIP sightings, hush money rumors, and hidden appearances had spiraled into tragedy. And then came the biggest bombshell of all. August 2025, more than a year after she was reported missing. Photos surfaced of Celeste in the VIP section at one of D4VD's concerts in Silver Spring, Maryland. Right next to her, his own brother, Caleb. Witnesses swore they saw it, Burke throwing heart signals from the stage towards Celeste. That one gesture would come back to haunt him forever. The Maryland sighting didn't just prove she was alive long after being declared missing. It cracked open a mystery his fan base couldn't ignore. If she was missing, why was she at his shows? Why was his family right there beside her? And why did no one stop it? When the images spread online, Burke and his team went silent. That silence only fueled suspicion. His brother Avi deleted his TikTok account the same week the story broke, sparking theories he'd been helping cover it all up. For years, Celeste's name had floated around in Discord chats and concert rumors. Gossip fans dismissed. But once her body was found in his Tesla, those whispers suddenly sounded like warnings everyone ignored. By summer 2025, weeks before the body was discovered, the line between his art and his reality was gone. To some fans, it was still coincidence. To others, the truth was obvious. His songs weren't just music. They were confessions. Celeste's presence had been hiding in plain sight. By April 2024, when she vanished for good, their secret wasn't rumor anymore. People suspected. Some even claimed Burke was paying as much as $10,000 a week to keep the truth quiet. Whether or not those payouts were real, the whispers painted a disturbing picture. Adults might have stayed silent while a child was exploited. Once her body surfaced, outrage only deepened, and social media lit the match. TikTok videos claimed he'd paid off other minors too, hinting at a pattern. Wild theories went viral, that Celeste may have been pregnant, that jealousy drove them apart, or that she overdosed and he panicked. Nothing was confirmed, but one thing united them all. Nobody believed her death was an accident. The darkest claims painted her last months as a nightmare. Not a runaway, but trapped in the orbit of a rising star who had the fame and money to keep her hidden. On Reddit, one user built a timeline that lined up Burke's biggest career moments with Celeste's sightings and disappearances. By the time her remains were found in September 2025, everything clicked. The tattoo, the lyrics, the concerts, the family silence, even his brother's shady behavior. This was no longer the story of a runaway girl. It was grooming, obsession, and an industry that looked the other way until it was too late. The contrast was unbearable. Celeste silenced and hidden in a trunk while Burke performed in sold-out arenas, releasing songs that fans now treated as evidence. By then, the question wasn't, did they know each other? It was, how did this go on for so long? What started as an online friendship had spiraled into a twisted story of exploitation, blurred lines between art and confession, and a tragic ending no one saw coming. And the shockwaves didn't stop in Hollywood. This case spread worldwide, dominating headlines and destroying Burke's carefully built image overnight. Fans who once streamed his songs for comfort now replayed them like clues in a murder mystery. His lyrics were dissected on TikTok, YouTube comments turned into digital memorials, and hashtag Justice for Celeste trended across X for days. Reddit threads exploded with timelines, screenshots, and old fan interactions, all re-examined through this sinister lens. The industry reacted fast, too. Hollister yanked campaigns, Crocs dropped their collaboration instantly, and other brands scrubbed his image from their feeds. Venues canceled his shows, fans demanded refunds, and his $20,000 a month Hollywood Hills lease was abruptly cut. In a matter of days, Burke went from Gen Z's rising voice to toxic pariah. One by one, the pillars of D4VD's fast-rising empire collapsed. But the worst damage wasn't financial, it was cultural. His fan base, the very community that crowned him a star, was now fractured. Some clung to denial, insisting the evidence was circumstantial. Others turned their playlists into funeral rites, unable to hear his voice without picturing Celeste's tragic last moments. for her family, the grief was unbearable. They vanished from public view for days after her remains were confirmed, blinds drawn and home silent. When they finally spoke, it was only to say their daughter was more than a tattoo and a headline. She deserved justice. That quiet pain stood in sharp contrast to Burke's courtroom arrogance, a contrast that only deepened public rage. Social media fueled the fire. TikTok, Reddit, and Discord became crime boards, where every lyric, every video, every gesture was re-examined. Fans slowed down his music videos, pointing out actresses who resembled Celeste. Lyrics that once sounded poetic were now dissected like evidence. On Reddit, one viral timeline matched his career milestones with Celeste's sightings and disappearances, arguing his music wasn't inspired by her life, it was documenting it. What once sounded like wild conspiracy now felt disturbingly plausible. The shared tattoos, the concert sightings, the deleted posts, the hush money whispers, all of it wove together into a sinister pattern. The trial wasn't just about guilt or innocence anymore. It became a cultural autopsy, a public dissection of fame, art, and the industry that looked away while danger festered right under the spotlight. By late September 2025, LAPD faced global pressure. Detectives had raided Burke's Hollywood Hills home, seizing electronics, clothes, and bags believed to contain blood. They tore through his devices, searching for DMs, emails,
Like, David, this song is too violent. You talking about killing people? In your music? No, not in my.
anything linking him directly to Celeste. Even his Tesla became a key witness. Investigators knew the car's data could reveal exact movements, GPS logs, and minute-by-minute access. Still, no arrest came immediately. That silence enraged the public. Some accused police of shielding him because of his celebrity. Others argued they were simply building an airtight case too strong for his lawyers to unravel. But without an official cause of death, prosecutors faced a dangerous question. Could they prove murder, or would the case be reduced to lesser charges like obstruction or abuse of a corpse? And the spotlight only widened. His brother Caleb, seen with Celeste in Maryland, was now under suspicion. Why had he scrubbed his TikTok? Why were Discord mods told to delete Celeste mentions? Even her own family drew whispers. Neighbors claimed they disappeared from their home for days after the body was identified, and the rumors of hush money, whether real or not, refused to die. Then there was Burke himself. Despite everything, he stayed defiant, smirking in court, live streaming Fortnite, acting untouchable. To many, it wasn't confidence, it was entitlement. The belief that fame could shield him from consequences. And so the haunting question remains, what's next for D4VD? Will prosecutors find the smoking gun that links him directly to Celeste's death? Or will the trial drag on in speculation, blurred between art and reality? Could more victims be hiding in the shadows of his rise, waiting to be uncovered? Or will the system fail, leaving Celeste's story as yet another unsolved tragedy? The aftermath left scars everywhere. Fans were left grieving not just Celeste, but the innocence they'd lost in the music they once loved. The industry was forced to reckon with its blind spots, how profit overshadowed protection. And for Burke, every lyric, every tattoo, every smirk became evidence in a case that will follow him forever. The trial isn't over. The investigation is still unfolding. But one thing is undeniable. The name D4VD will never sound the same again. What do you think of this case? Drop your thoughts below and click the cards on screen for more.